You're listening to the Lux Life Discovered podcast, where we talk with people who are living a lifestyle that reflects their passion, because we believe everyone should be living their best life, their Lux Life. The show is hosted by Rick Steiner with Steiner Event Group, a premier national event planning company, and co-hosted by Shannon Richmond, the Vice President of the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. If you are watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications of future episodes. The show is produced by 30A Media and is broadcast on your favorite podcast outlets, as well as YouTube, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TVs, and other major brand smart TVs.
Hello and welcome to Lux Life Discovered. I'm Rick Steiner with Steiner Event Group. My co-host today is Shannon Richmond with the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce. And our guest today is Josh Brown with Beachbilly Lifestyle. So Josh, thank you for taking the time to come over and be on the podcast.
Yes, sir.
I've been assured that this is going to be a fun podcast and entertaining, so let's just jump right into it. How did Beachbilly Lifestyle originate?
It was a concept, to be honest with you. We are going to have fun today. We're going to
okay.
do a lot of joking.
All right, good.
But Beachbilly Lifestyle was born out of grief. I lost both my parents to cancer, and my mom was like my best friend. And when I left my mom's funeral, I just needed something different, right? My dad was a preacher. My mom was an awesome preacher's wife. And so I grew up with having people instill morals in me and all those things. And they weren't financially stable. So, it wasn't like they left me a bunch of money and different things like that. But they left me characteristics and awesome, morals, like I was saying, all that good stuff. And so if I was a single guy, I had a job that I was working like 50 hours a week. I was doing all the things to where, I was working long hours just to have stuff in my garage and I wasn't fulfilled. I had a family and I loved my family, but it was just a lot of things happening in life. And I drove away and I was from the funeral and I was telling my wife, I said, if I was a single guy, I'd like sell everything I own and go like hike the Appalachian Trail right now. And I'd go lose myself to find myself. I said, but I love you. I love the boys. I can't do that. And she was like, well, the next best thing, let's take an adventure together as a family.
Nice.
And yeah. And so we did. We started like giving things away, having yard sales, and we did all this stuff. And we found a little plot of land close to the beach. And we moved out there and we started building chicken coops and raising chickens and growing vegetables.
Oh, wow.
And I've never grew anything in my life, right? And so we had to learn the hard way, but that's kind of how it all started. And then some older gentlemen from our church came out and was like helping me cut some trees down on the property. And they were like, man, y'all live like a bunch of hillbillies on the beach. Because we had a surfboard laid against our chicken coop. And he was like, y'all live like hillbillies on the beach, And I was like, man, I couldn't get that out of my head. I was like, we are living this lifestyle, like this country lifestyle on the beach. And Perito Key is kind of like how it is around here. We have this beautiful bridge that you drive over and you see like the condos and the beautiful water. And what we would do on our property was we'd like clear land and work with our boys. And as a reward, we'd take them to the beach every day. And we were kind of off the grid. So sometimes we would use the shower at the beach. And we didn't tell anybody because we didn't want people to come take our kids and think we couldn't afford, But anyway, we were driving over and I saw all the beautiful condos and the water. And I was like, man, Beachbilly. I was like, we're Beachbillies. And we went to the beach, and as we're walking, we're in the parking lot, and I'm seeing cars from like, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas. And I'm like, these are Beachbillies too.
Yeah, they just don't want to, they don't know it.
They don't know it. They know like, oh, well, I like the country life. I save up every year to come to the beach. And what am I? Well, you're a Beachbilly. And that's kind of how it was born.
I love that.
Yeah.
And did you hear what he said in the beginning? He had to lose himself to find himself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And people always talk about like, what was the secret? How did you do it? And I'm dyslexic. I wasn't a good student. But isn't there a story about a guy that had like an army and he like went and burned all the boats so they could fight the battle? Have you ever heard that story where like they were on someplace doing the battle and like the men didn't want to battle, so he went like burned all the boats, so, like they have no way to escape. So we got to go to war. I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't have like a great job with a great salary that I was like, well, could rely on. This was kind of like, I need to do this Beachbilly thing if I'm going to do it, or I need to go get a job somewhere. And I was just kind of, my wife was supportive. We was smart enough to put a little money back, and she was like, let's go do this. Let's take this adventure. And we did. And luckily, I just got surrounded by really good people.
Right.
Paul being one of them here at 30A TV that works with you guys. And I was just blessed to be around some really cool people at the beginning that said, hey, you have something, like, don't give up. Keep working on it. And we did, man. It's been, we've
That's-
tried to bless people along the way, and
Well, the key to it
bless.
too is that you had a wife that was supportive,
Oh.
that believed in your dream. My wife is like that with me. Like I come up with all these wild ideas, and I think my sons, I mentioned earlier, they're 37, 35, and my daughter's 31, and I think they're still waiting for me to grow up. And I don't think it's going to happen. I think, yeah. So, but that's really neat how you took not a negative, but you just took something that was in you that you knew you wanted more.
Yeah.
And you went with it. Because how many people have you met? And I know Shannon's met a lot of people, I have too, who are my age or older and still don't know what they want to do, or
Or
are
wish
not
they would have
happy.
done
Yeah,
something
exactly.
else.
That's the key. Yes, man. Wish
And-
they would have done it.
Yeah. So
No
that's
regret.
really interesting. Yeah.
That's how you live your life, isn't it?
Yeah. And if I get that tattooed, I'll make sure it's spelled right.
Right. That's right. No, REGRATS. Yeah.
I'll be like, please spell that right before you put it on my body.
Don't let this be my
Just because
regret.
I say Beachbilly, I still would like it spelled
Yeah, I would
correct.
still like to spell right. I can spell a little bit. Or my wife can't spell.
Just
Yeah.
gonna double check this when I get home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long you been doing this?
We got our business license in 2017,
Okay.
16 or 17. But it took me a while because I was, still working. I mean, when I started, I was helping a buddy do some like landscaping. And then we knew like with the Beachbilly Lifestyle, we said, hey, how do we promote it, get it out there? And we thought, everybody wears a t-shirt. Everybody likes a hat, and
Yeah.
different things like that. So we started off, I got like a little vinyl heat press thing, was doing it in our living room.
Seriously.
And we had like a little YouTube channel about us raising our chickens and stuff. And so I'd do landscaping for about 10 hours a day, come in, hang out with the family. Then I'd make some shirts. I would do a little editing. And it did get to that point to where I was like, told my wife, I was like, I'm kind of burning, candles at both ends.
Yeah.
I just want to focus on Beachbilly. And we got to a point where we could. And it's been blessed. There was a lot of times that I went to bed at night being like, told my wife, I was like, you know what, I just don't have it in me no more. I feel like it's not going anywhere. And tomorrow I'm just going to start putting in some applications. And she'd be like, well, if you want to. And I was like, I am.
She's not thinking he's not going to be happy. I hope this works. Yeah.
I hope this works, But, she just wanted me to be happy. She is an awesome supporter. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her, right? And,
No, you'd be single at the Appalachian.
oh yeah, I would be.
Mm-hmm.
Or in jail
Oh.
or something,
We're going to put you on the mountain.
Yeah. But no, she was like really supportive of it. But I would wake up that next day. I'd go to bed being like, okay, I'm done. I just can't do this no more. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not smart enough. All those things. Sometimes we could tell ourselves like, you don't know what you're doing. I'd get a good night's rest. I'd wake up and I'd have this re-energized feeling of like, man, just give it another week.
More, yeah.
And I'd tell my wife, I'm gonna give it another week. She'd be like, all right. And it was like every time that I got to that point in that next week, something happened. I would meet somebody would call me that I thought didn't want anything to, and they'd be like, hey man, I've been thinking about this Beachbilly thing, and hey, let's do this together. Or I got a good idea. I want to introduce you to this person. And it was every time it was kind of like guy was like, no, in my time, dude, not your time, in my time.
And that's
It's hard not taking that wheel, though, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
It's kind of like you were talking earlier before we started the podcast of wanting to do things and being told to do things. And it's kind of like sometimes when God has a plan for us, it's my nature is, okay, I feel like this is what you're saying, so let's make it happen within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And his is like, oh, this is what I want you to do, but you're going to do it on my time.
Yeah.
And I keep telling them and helping them and giving them suggestions, and
Making sure you got it just right.
yeah, just make sure you hadn't forgotten. And then it's like, okay,
Got
you
it. Don't
will
forget.
wait, right?
Don't forget what I've been asking for.
And I told you I needed it by 3, and it's 4:05. Yeah, So,
Yep.
so okay. Once you started the Beachbilly brand and lifestyle, where did you go with it from there? Like, what were the first steps in that? Because you've got a nice little, not empire, but you do have an
We
empire.
got some cool things going, man, and we've worked hard for it. We're proud of it. But so what I started doing was I was just started doing whatever. Like I was just doing things. I would talk to everybody. I'd promote it everywhere I went. I got me stickers, and so if you're starting a business, get you some stickers and go give it to everybody you walk. If you're at the restaurant, at grocery store, the rest stop on the interstate, whatever you're at, just hand them. And that's what I would do. And people would be like, oh, Beachbilly, what are you going to do with it? Sometimes I'd lie and be like, oh, we're going to do this and that. And I really didn't have a clue, but I was like, we're doing something.
That's right. You just kept going forward.
But we just kept going forward.
Yeah.
And it was funny because about that time, I was trying to learn how to, better take care of my chickens and how to grow better tomatoes in the panhandle of Florida because we got sandy soil. Mm-hmm. And I'd watch these YouTube videos, and they weren't really good quality. It'd be someone, great information, but it'd be someone with their cell phone talking, and it'd be like shaky, and you're kind of like trying to watch it, and you're like, oh, yeah, you're like getting all dizzy, And I remember complaining to my wife, and my wife isn't about complaining. She's one of those that she's
gonna
like,
fix it.
Well, I was telling her, I was like, man, complain about it. She's like, well, make better videos and put it on YouTube. That's how my wife is. There's no complaining. It's like, suck it up, buttercup, and let's go. That's her attitude, And so I was like, yes, ma'am. And I started thinking about it. I was like, okay. So I went to Best Buy and bought the original GoPro for like $99 and a little $200 camera, like a family camcorder, and a little like $99 software. And I spent like about 2 or 3 weeks teaching myself how to, with the kids, would make like little videos with my kids.
Right.
And I was just learning how to edit. And I was like, hey, I could do this. And we started doing videos on raising chickens and what we feed our chickens. And, we're going to the beach. So we'd take a little, we're going to the beach and doing this and that. And I'd like wear my hats in there. Didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying.
But you just kept going forward.
Just kept going forward, taking steps, right? What do they say? How do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? Well, every day I'll take a little bite. Yep. And we would go. And sometimes we would advance. Sometimes I felt like that I was spinning my wheels, but I just kept doing it. And it grew from there. And there was a little local access channel that was like, hey, we need to do a TV show. And about that time, I came across 38 TV. And I reached out to Paul, and I was like, and John was like, hey, man, I got something here. And I just sent it thinking that'd be like, oh, this is great, But they came back and was like, this is really cool, I was like, oh, thank you. And he was like, man, you're onto something. He's like, we'd love to have you on our channel. And I was like, wow, I
begged for
that just happened.
Yeah, I begged for 3 years. No, I'm just kidding.
And he was like, dude, we love it. And so we did. We started off with there, and they treated us right, man. And when it comes to like the TV show and that side of things, he really gave me a big confidence boost, And so we did. I remember one time we came down here on vacation. We come back through, and he was like, man, bring the family. And we got to go to the studio and check it out, and the kids was all amazed. And I was like, he was taking a picture, and he'd always encourage me, every couple months he'd send me a text, or he would like something and be like, hey, man, keep up the good work. And that just meant a lot to me. And so, yeah, we started doing that. And then like a bigger little channel, which is like an affiliate from WEAR in Pensacola, which is like a little ABC affiliate. Mm-hmm. They have like a little sister station called My Network, and it shows like the news at 9 instead of 10, They show like Everybody Loves Raymond at 5 o'clock every day. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of show. And they came to us and was like, hey, man, we'd really love you to be on this, channel, and you can sell your commercial spots and make it, a couple of dollars. And at that point, any way I could make a dollar or a penny, I was all about it. Sure. And so we moved to there, and then got a lot better, and then had some other people that's done like shows nationally that kind of come to us and had some opportunities to do stuff. But I just hustled, man. I just met the right people and tried to bless other people, and that's what it was about. I've met people along the way that when I was like in their presence or had a conversation with them, that when I left, I just felt good about myself, and I felt good about what I was doing. And I prayed about it. I was like, God, if you just give me a platform that I could do that. Every day I just try to make a difference in people's lives and put a smile on their face. And it's really as simple as that. A lot of people come to me like, man, what is the secret? I'll be like, dude, I don't know.
I'm still trying to
figure it out. I'm just, I just know that if you bless other people, it comes back to you. And I try to be a good dude, and integrity is who you are and what you do when nobody's looking. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't try to live by as well. And, people are like, man, you're successful. And I think I'm successful not because of I don't think I'm successful at Beachbilly yet. You know what I'm saying? I still drive an old car, and I'm like having to struggle to get my wife a new car and stuff like that. We're going to get there. Success to me is I'm still married 22 years later to my college sweetheart. I got 3 kids that think I'm cool and want to hang out with me. That's to me,
that's priceless.
That's a win. You know what I'm saying? I've gotten to some big stores with Beachbilly. We're on some awesome channels like 30A and some bigger ones like Amazon Prime and stuff like that. Which 30A is big, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna do it big. I didn't mean
True.
like that.
Yeah. No, I know
But
what you mean. Yeah.
we've done some cool stuff, and it can be all. It can all be gone tomorrow, and I could go back to Walmart and push buggies. And I'll have a smile on my face. Because at the end of the day, I have an awesome family. I have awesome friends, and in a weird way, it almost took me to get some of this to like look back. Because I've been to some points in Beachbilly to where I was like, man, if we ever get to that point, it'll be perfect. Life will be awesome. And I got to that point, and I still looked around, and I was like,
I still want more. Or there's still more to do. Yeah.
yeah. Or I want to go home and be
bless.
my family. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
That's good. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. That sounds weird. I probably just
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. And a lot of people never get that. They
Yes,
never
sir.
click. That doesn't click with them because
That's true.
they're think, well, here we are. Let's do more. Not really take the time. Even though I said that, you don't take. And I'm bad about that. Not taking the time to reflect and appreciate where we are, what we've accomplished, and what we've been fortunate to fall in our lap sometimes. And then because there's always that. I think it's just human nature. You want more. But sometimes more is not always the best. But where all is your merchandise featured? Because you told me there are several stores where you have items. I know you get it through your website.
Yeah, you can get it through our website, beachbilly.com, beachbillylifestyle.com. We're in stores in Perdido Key, Orange Beach. We're in a lot of stores. I don't want to say it like that, but if I named them all, we'd be here all day. We actually would be here for about another 45 seconds. But no, it sounded good. You know what I'm saying? I can't make it sound too good. But no, we're in like
We'll scroll it.
all the souvenir cities and like Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Perdido Key Souvenirs, and more. Intercoastal Outfitters on Pensacola Beach, the boardwalk there. We have stores all through like South Florida. We have several in the Carolinas, North and South Carolina. We've done some big box stores. We did a little thing with Walmart, and it was a cool experience. But we kind of wanted to wait on that a little bit. We still are gonna do things with Walmart, but it's gonna be probably like stickers and koozies. Because as far as our apparel, we love being in the boutique beach shops,
Right.
And
You don't want to do the big QVC Shark Tank, come on, sell $1 million. You'd rather be the little boutique shop that people know what that means.
Yes, ma'am.
And they want to wear it
identify
proudly.
with.
Yeah, and we grow. As y'all know this in the business world, and you've seen it with the chamber and what you do. Things that take off like a rocket come down like a rocket.
Sure.
And things that take off like an airplane, the airplane's in the air a lot longer, and I'd like that slow and growing, and we can control it. It's family. It's more who we are,
That's what I'm saying. You have control over it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You need to be all over 30A,
I would love
Panama
to.
City Beach, Panama City.
If I knew some people that could help me out with that,
Yeah.
I like to give finder's fees.
Oh, we'll discuss that.
I like to share as well.
We'll discuss membership when we get
Deal.
And you think
Or as the kids say, bet. Have you heard that yet?
Yeah, somebody did that to me in the text. I'm like, what are we betting?
Yeah. My kids did that to me. I said something that was like, bet. I was like, what are you talking
I
about?
know. I thought,
How much do we bet?
what? Yeah.
Yeah, like, bet. Did you lose money on a bet, son?
That means yes. I'm like, well, just say yes.
Yeah.
So what do you see like going forward? Because I mean, you've got the personality,
Thank you.
and
Man.
your wife has the
Looks.
well. I mean,
No, I'm serious. Everybody that meets me is like, they meet me and they look at her and they like are talking to me, but they're still looking at her, and I'm used to it after 20 years.
you're like, look at
Whatever.
I mean, but she's got the focus to keep you on track. Is what I'm.
I know. I'm just
So it's a good combination because it does take two people in a marriage to make things work personally, financially, professionally, all of that.
Yes,
So what would you say you're like, if anything could happen right now, what would you want it to be?
we've worked really hard on our show. We're going to be on 30A TV and a couple more streaming channels. And I would just love, it took us about 2 years to complete this, and we had some ups and downs along the way. And the times we were like, are we going to be able to continue to do this? But we just fought hard with it, and we put a lot of time and energy into it. And I really want that to be like a calling card for the show. Like we will never shows like Duck Dynasty. only come along every like 20 or 30 years, right?
Yeah.
But man, the awareness that show got to bring onto that brand of Duck Commander, and then the platform that family has gotten to make a difference and bring positivity. Because as you know, right now in the world, everything's negative, everything's fighting. People are, there's just all this stuff. And so I hope that, the whole point of the show was not only to introduce people to the Beachbilly lifestyle, but also be positive. Put a smile on everyone's face. At the end of every episode, we have a Beachbillyism. And it's like words of encouragement.
Ooh.
It's like to encourage you to like, we talk about the show and we're like, hey, this shows, we just tell them things and be like, hey, take it and run with it. And if you want to change your life, here's the way you can do it. And just love each other. All that. They're really good. I'm making them sound like they're really good because we had someone write them out. It was my wife. My wife even does my emails because I'm like, hi, my name is John. She's like, let me do this.
I got this, honey. You do the other.
Yeah. You just go feed the chickens.
I'll take care of your email.
But no, we do that. We want every episode for people just to be encouraged and all that. And
That's fantastic.
Yes, ma'am. I'd love for people to watch the show, and if they wanted to buy a shirt, that'd be awesome.
Right.
Yeah, that's
But
bonus.
I just want to support my family. We have a good team around us, people that help out, and a good community where I'm from that supported us, and just to keep growing like it's doing, man. I really love that. I love the fact that I don't know. I just like putting smiles on people's faces. So that's
Right.
it.
That's important these days.
Yeah,
Big time.
positivity. There's enough negative out there.
Yeah.
Sure it is.
It's easy to be negative and to blame everybody for stuff, but
But look at you. When you were down, you still wanted to bless people.
yes, ma'am.
So that's the biggest picture right there.
Yeah.
I like the fact when you first started, when you said all the people from Georgia, Kentucky, Arkansas, and Tennessee that are here that are Beachbillies, because that is so true. I'm from Arkansas originally. I live in Kentucky now, so I'm a double Beachbilly.
You play blue?
No, sorry.
Can
Well,
you
guys,
guys
it
be
was
friends? Can you guys even be friends now?
Right, sorry about that. Sure, I do. Yeah,
No, I'm joking.
It says you're. Well, I'm gonna get your shirt. You know you're a Beachbilly.
yeah, you know you are, or you don't
Yeah.
know you are. That's why you don't know you are. But
That is a cool thing what you're saying. That's probably one of my favorite things is when people see my shirt or they bought it and I'm like, oh, because even now, like if I see someone in Beachbilly or Beachbilly hat, I'll be like, man, that's an awesome hat. Where'd you get it? Or that's an awesome shirt. Some people are like, well, I guess you do like it because they recognize me. But other people's like, oh yeah, man, it's great. It's like hillbilly at the beach, and they're explaining to me what it is.
yeah,
Oh man, I'm like, awesome, because they get it. And some people just see it and they're like, I'm a Beachbilly. To me, that's the best, man. It's for people to see what we are and they identify it. Because that's what we did. All we did was get to put a name on a lifestyle that people are living around here.
right.
Even though they're a little different class of Beachbillies than we are, We're like them trailer park Beachbillies. Over here it's like them bougie Beachbillies. You know what I'm saying?
Beach Williams.
Beach Williams.
Mitch Williams, there you go.
That's
That's
a good one.
that is.
That's a good one.
That's
Beach
gonna be.
Williams. I love it.
So where are some
Williams.
of the places that you filmed in?
Key West, well, not Key West itself, Key Largo and Isla Mirada. We were down there on some things. We actually went down there and helped eradicate some iguanas and went on a python hunt. And we got to learn how the iguanas is really like devastating
Yes.
the environment down there because they're, it's really bad. And so I have a good friend of mine that's what he does. He goes down there and the parks, they like pay him to go in and kind of at night, they'll go in and get him out. And it's very humane. And we got to learn all about that and why we're doing
And
it.
your whole family goes.
On some of the adventures.
I bet your kids get asked a million questions. What's your dad gonna do now?
Yeah. Well, it's funny with the show, like the first 2 episodes is like my family. And it really, one of the things I'll say, and it took us 2 years, is as a point, my kids kind of came to me and was like, I don't want to do this. I want to be a kid. Like, I don't want to be, and I admire them for that. So, like, we're in the middle of production, right? We already have 2 episodes down where it's like a family show. And they like come to us and they're like, Dad, I don't want to do this, And I was like, you don't have to. And so it went then for me going on all these adventures and me doing stuff with Beachbilly and my wife joining me when she could, we had to kind of change it, which in a way it turned into about this family starting a brand and about us taking the brand and growing the brand. We didn't realize it as a God thing. I thought like, oh man, what are we going to do? This is going to be horrible. And it was actually a blessing because we got to take it, and my kids was like, my kid, my middle son plays football. My oldest like didn't think it was that cool. You know what I'm saying? My kids keep me humble.
They have a way of doing it.
Oh, every time something good happens, I explain to them.
them.
They're like, "Oh yeah, Dad, that's great." Anyway, where would we eat at? And I'm like, they don't think this is cool at all, you know? And there are people stopping me like, man, I saw your dad the other day. I was like, yeah, anyway, so hey, but you know. I'm like, awesome. But yeah, it kind of changed. We went to Nashville because we have an artist named Kyle Coolahan who cut like our I guess our brand song, our national anthem of the brand. And it's like the intro and all the shows and stuff. And so we were up there recording it with him. We went to Bentonville, Arkansas, and we showcased us getting like our hats being done at Outdoor Cap, which we have a license deal with them now. And they, you know, they have stores they sell with like Bass Pro and Track Supply and many others.
Bentonville's an interesting area.
Bentonville's a cool.
Yes. I do a lot of work. Well, I do a lot of work in that area.
It's like a snow globe town, and I mean that with respect.
It's like the Truman Show.
It is.
Yeah.
Because everyone there is like smiling because they're all like, their great granddad had shares in the Walmart, so they're all like fine. You know, they have like no worries.
They're the Williams without the beach.
Exactly right. You know, they resod downtown like every 6 months. You know, I mean, it's
pristine.
It's the coolest place. Like people tell me, like,
I want to see y'all
where to go.
rolling up in there.
Oh no, they loved it.
Yeah, I bet it's so much fun.
Oh, it was. I mean, I was like, oh my god. But the people there are super friendly.
Oh, they are.
They are the nicest people, so welcoming, and it's like the mountain biking capital of the world. Because there was a lot of people there that were tired of having to fly other places to mountain bike, and so they just brought it to them.
Have you ever eaten at the Preacher, the restaurant there? It's an old church.
No, I haven't ate there, but they told us about it. I'm going back there next month because we're doing like a release party up there for the show, and we are going to be eating there.
Okay.
The one
You live right around there.
Well, that's
Right
our farms are like in northeast Arkansas. That's northwest Arkansas. But I do a lot of work out at Crystal Bridges in Milton Cooper. So yeah.
Crystal Bridges.
Yeah, and that's
the arc, like the building itself is art.
yeah. They got a new pod they're building there.
Yes,
so,
sir.
yeah.
And yeah, it's a really cool spot. Is that Rogers? Are you there by Rogers? Is that still not east enough?
No, that's just right down the road.
Okay.
No, we're talking like the eastern part of the
gotcha.
state. So yeah,
It's beautiful country up there.
It is.
And that's a really cool spot to visit. And then so we filmed there. We've been Louisiana, all in the places in between, and where we live. We live in Perito Key, Pensacola Beach. Perito Key is where I'm from, and I want to be ambassador for my area because I love Pensacola Beach, and my little community of Perito Key. And so we did some different things there. You know, a lot of people get upset with me because they don't want me to tell too many people about Perito Key because it's still a little hidden gem.
Right.
And I've got people before and be like, please do not get people down there.
Leave us alone.
All our friends rely on people coming here. I'm trying to help them, and they're the ones paying for the show. So, sorry.
Well, you know, I can't believe our 30 minutes is already gone.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. But one thing we did benefit from this, you being here, is that now we have another division of Beachbilly Lifestyle, Beach Williams, the upper end.
The upper
Yeah.
end.
So it's a whole new marketing campaign.
Y'all draw the paperwork up. We all sign on it. We just start rocking and rolling.
That's good. No, but Josh, thank you so much for being with us today.
Yes, sir.
Pleasure meeting you.
It was awesome.
And
Yes, ma'am.
So
Thank you so much.
that concludes our episode of Lux Life Discovered. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
Check out Lux Life Discovered on Facebook and Instagram and on 30a.tv. See you next time on Lux Life Discovered.